PB purple. This is my PB purple pattern. I've been using this for probably about a year now. It's a bit of a amalgamation of one or two different flies that I saw. I think it originally started with John Tyzak's Purple Nasty, but I took off I think his had CDC etc, which I took off, and then I saw one by the great Grayling, big Grayling angler, Lewis Hendry. He called it a black and purple. Purple seems to be quite good. This is a good all-round fly for Grayling and trout. This has caught me my two biggest Grayling to date, which was last year, a 3£6 and a 3£8 on the top dropper. So that's where the name came, PB purple. Right, so I'll get tying it. Doesn't take long to tie. If you can master this pattern, I think it's kind of technically called a Frenchy pattern, but the variations, if you just stick to this actual tying sequence but alter the colours, beads, all that kind of stuff, you can almost tie any kind of Frenchy pattern that you see, whether you're using pheasant tail, peacock, you know, really anything that you want really. The world's your oyster. So here's goes. So just this is one of the few times I don't use white nano silk. If I'm using black or darker patterns, I always use the black. This is black nano silk number 12, which I use for all most of my patterns apart from tiny dries. Again, scalpel to cut, don't use scissors or you'll blunt them. That just traps the bead in. I've been getting one or two questions on my YouTube page and also on Facebook, basically about beads, and one of them was about the gape. To me, this area here is basically where you're going to hook the fish, and sometimes I see flies, and if you use too narrow a gape, I feel that there's not enough space there for to get a good hook hold on the fish. So you can see the space between the point of the hook and the eye there is wide, and that's what I do that on not just my jig hooks but nearly all my hooks, dry fly, wets, all that kind of stuff. I try and keep the gape as to the maximum possible, and the hook hold with these is fantastic. This is a partridge wide gape jig, number 16. This is my kind of go-to. I don't tie any bigger than this. It's either a 16 or an 18 with this is a 3mm bead. Now this is, you can get two different types of slotted bead. This is what they call a slim slot. I get these from Ian Gillard that get slotted, and the quality of the beads are fantastic. That's, as I say, that's a 3mm. The slim slot makes it a bit tighter, and it's also slightly heavier than the normal slotted bead. Now to tie in the tail's CDL or Coq de Leon. You can use other things, but the Coq de Leon is much tougher. If you use things like partridge or mallard or anything like that, you find that after a few fish they get chewed to bits, whereas this stuff lasts all day. Now you bring the stem 90 degrees and then pull out what you want. You can buy the CDL in various different ways. Most of the guys sell it in wee clumps of maybe 5 or 6 feathers, but what you can actually do, and what I did, was you can actually buy a cape. This is a Whiting's cape. I don't know if you'll be able to see it very well here, but it's an absolutely stunning cape, and I'll have enough CDL here to last me for absolute years. It's as I say, it's a Whiting CDL cape. Lovely thing. Right, so get your CDL 90 degrees. Now don't scrimp on it, don't do 2, 3 or whatever. Get a good clump, maybe 5 or 6. Tear them off, line up the tips. Now I like the tails on my flies very short. I don't see some of them and they're away out here. I just think that's far too long. And the other thing is that the longer the tail, the more interference it can have in the water. So you just tie that in at the head, just one loose lap, just check your length. That's still a wee bit too long for me, so just pull it in a tad. That looks okay now. Now hold them on top of the hook shank. Nice tight turns, no build up with the nano silk. And just before you get to the end of the hook, now if you just lift them slightly up here, and then I always do this, bring the thread up, and that flares them, and it also it stops them falling back down round about the hook. And that's the tail fitted in. So a really good technique for dries as well, to flare the tail. If you are only using maybe 2 or 3, you can sometimes just by putting the thread underneath, you can actually flare it to save you actually splitting them. But that's just a nice length of tail, no longer than that. So that's basically, as I said to you earlier, if you can master this style of pattern, from there you can basically that's the kind of base for any of the ones that you do. So you can basically go from there and add whatever colour you want. Now with this one, it's a red wire rib. I've went through so many reels of wire you wouldn't believe till I got the one that I really like. Now they're either too thick or too thin, or colours aren't right. Now this one is hens. I find the perfect size for doing most of my flies, 16s, 18s, is 0.14. That's the wire there. As I say, the size on it's 0.14. Any thinner, and I find that the wire can snap quite easily. You can get wire down to, I think it's about 0.9, but to me that's far too thin. And with my big fingers, I was just snapping it all the time. So that's the body ready. The body on the fly is Awesome Possum in black. It's absolutely pure black and very easy to dub on. You don't need much. You could use pheasant tail, etc. for this. I'm not a fan of pheasant tail, I must admit. I just don't see the need for it. I'm not very keen on using it at all. Just a nice tight dubbing rope, very thin. I always think if you can't see the thread when you're dubbing, it's too thick, because you can always add. And if you put a thin rope on, it means you're getting more turns of thread, and that toughens the fly up even without the wire. This is one of the few flies that actually use wire on. I've tried using mylar, red mylar and things like that, but it just doesn't look right on this one. So you're just trying to build up slim body, but also going up to a slight taper, carrot shape, just as you get to the head. It's very easy to dub on. And then personal preference, as I say, I don't like a lot of wire, so just turn at the back, maybe 3 turns max. Just nicely even spaced. You'll probably not see that one at the end with the dubbing, but that's fine, that gives you the idea. Trap that in, and then just snap that off. Oh, broke. I'll just cut it off. There's the body, and then you can, as I say, I think with John Tyzak's original, I think he had the CDC collar and partridge or something like that, but I don't think you really need it. But as I say, you could add, look, it's like any fly, you can add what you want. The collar on this one is hens Spectra, and it's number 18. I found this, they do a number 17, but it's a lot paler than this, but I found this one really, this has been really nice, and as I say, it's caught me my 2 biggest grayling to date, as well as numerous trout. Again, very, very sparse. Try and spread it over your thread, maybe over till maybe about 1 inch, and then you're getting more thread turns, which is going to tighten the collar in. And as I do with my grayling slayer, if you just tighten your thread in, get your thumbnail right in at the back of the dubbing. That keeps it all together. Nice neat collar. And then to finish it off, we dab a Solarez thin. Another one of the questions I'd get asked was the brush that I use. This is just it's a very nice sable brush out an art shop. And I just clean it with, I found the only thing that actually cleans the brushes properly is pure acetone. Managed to steal that out my wife's nail kit. And just your whip finish. The Solarez thin soaks right in there. And then with the nano silk, hold the bead, pull it, locks everything in place. Thread off. I remember this week, forgot the other week, wee bit of torch. And that's your PB purple.